You know how the display cases in the Apollo gallery are constructed because you installed them. Not these ones specifically. They were replaced in 1919, 3 years before you arrived. But you installed the same ones in the Rubens Hall in Antwerp and in the Army Museum on the other side of the Seine, and the construction is identical. Tempered glass, silicone sealant around the seams, an internal lock with a 4mm hex key. You can't open it from the outside unless you use a grinder, and even then it takes a while. But from the inside, if you know where the service panel is, it takes 12 seconds. You timed it. Your name is Radu Munteanu. You are 38 years old. You are from Bucharest, the Drumul Taberei district, with its prefabricated buildings and dogs in the courtyards. Your father is an electrician at the Ferrum factory. Your mother is an accountant at a clinic. You graduated from the Polytechnic with a degree in industrial automation, worked for 2 years at an air conditioning factory in Popesti Leordini, and then left. It's 2012, you're 25, Romania has been in the European Union for 5 years, and you got a contract through the Techno Alliance Agency to install climate control and security systems in museums. Not because you loved art, but because they paid €11 an hour and the factory paid 4. In 10 years, you've worked in 14 museums in 6 countries. The Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, humidity sensors in the Rembrandt room, the Pergamon in Berlin, climate control in the storage room, Antwerp, Vienna, Madrid. You saw the other side, server rooms the size of a storage closet, cameras with blind spots, passwords on stickers, security guards on their phones. In Vienna, the surveillance system for the Leopold wing operated on a single computer running Windows 7. In Madrid, the nightly tour of the Prado took 40 minutes for 72 rooms. The security guard didn't have enough legs. You worked at the Louvre twice. Summer of 2016, Richelieu wing, ventilation. Spring of 2022, upgrade of the display cases in the Caryatid Hall. 6 weeks every day from 7 to 4. The contractor's pass, yellow with a magnetic strip, opened service doors, elevators, basements. You had breakfast in the staff canteen on the -1st floor, where the security chiefs discussed schedules in front of you because you were a technician, a piece of furniture, a man in a blue jumpsuit who went unnoticed. You didn't plan to steal. You memorized. An engineer's brain. You walk into a room and automatically scan the wiring, cameras, weak links. By the 22nd, you had a map of the Louvre in your head that none of the security guards had. Because security guards change, and you look at the building as a system. The idea took shape on January 25th in Bucharest on Calea Victoriae. An article about the Louvre audit, the 14th year, leaked to Le Monde. The password for the video surveillance system is Louvre. 61% of the rooms have no cameras. In the Richelieu wing, 75. You reread it 3 times. The load-bearing wall is made of cardboard. The Apollo Gallery. The Dinan wing, 1st floor, room 705, 60 meters, LeBron ceiling, display cases with the crown jewels of France. In the eastern ones, tiaras, necklaces, Eugénie's brooches, a set worth 60 to 70 million according to the catalog. In the western one, on a separate stand, under its own light, the Regent. 140 carats, cushion cut, the purest water. The crown of Louis XV, Napoleon's sword, Eugénie's tiara. The last estimate was 51 million. The real value is 2 or 3 times that, no one knows, because it has never been auctioned. The Regent cannot be recut. Any gemologist will recognize it by its proportions and micro-inclusions. It cannot be sold in Antwerp, New York, or Hong Kong. It can only be sold to one type of buyer, someone who will put the stone in a safe and know that they have it. A Saudi prince spent $450 million on the Salvator Mundi and hid it on his yacht. There are enough people in the world for whom possession is the only thing that matters. You don't know them, but you know people who do. A Lebanese man from Beirut who moved to Dubai after the explosion at the port. A jeweler with clients from the Gulf. You approached him through a 4th party. You said, there will be a stone, a large historic one. You need a buyer without certificates. He said he would find one. 150,000 in advance, everything you had saved in 12 years. He didn't ask where it came from. He didn't want to know. But you didn't understand the main thing right away. You understood it in February when you visited the Louvre gift shop through their website and saw the jewelry section. Meticulously reproduced historical sets. That's what they called them. Replicas of crown jewels. Not exact copies. Rhinestones, gilding, costume jewelry, but the shape, size, proportions, identical. It was a blueprint. A starting point. If a jewelry house makes a replica for a museum shop display case, it means that there are exact measurements, photographs from all angles, and data on each stone. Everything is publicly available in catalogs, in gemological databases. You ordered replicas from 3 different places. Zirconium for the Regent, a numerically controlled machine, a workshop in Shenzhen, $2,000, delivery through an intermediary in Bucharest. A tiara with sapphires, through a jeweler in Bangkok who makes copies for film production. Glass, silver, synthetic sapphires. $4,000. The bow brooch and necklace, another craftsman in Istanbul, the Kapalı Çarşı Jewelry Bazaar. Each of them made one item and knew nothing about the others. Each thought it was an order for filming or for a private collection. No one asked any unnecessary questions. By June, you had a complete set in your rented apartment in Aubervilliers in a suitcase under the bed. You laid them out on the table, turned on the desk lamp, and looked at them. Through the glass of a museum display case, under a spotlight, at a distance of half a meter, you couldn't tell the difference. You could tell the difference when you picked them up. Different weight, different thermal conductivity, different spectrum. But to do that, you had to open the display case and take the item out. And why open the display case if everything was in place? You needed 2 people. Kostas Lianos, a Greek from Thessaloniki, 2 joint contracts, Berlin and Antwerp. An electrician, a former sailor, calm, doesn't drink, not on social media. In Berlin, he switched the power supply for the entire Pergamon wing to a backup generator in 15 minutes, alone, without documentation, from memory. You called him in March, explained. Kostas flew in, walked around the hall. In the evening, in a cafe near Gare du Nord, he said, "You can't turn off the camera, but you can cover it. You need a woman, a big hat. She stands between the camera and the display window, and the camera films feathers instead of diamonds. Then she steps away. The camera sees the display window again, and everything is in place in the display window. Only it's different now." Kostas found the woman, a girl from a modeling website, 24 years old, Romanian from Cluj working in Paris. They told her, a photo shoot for a fashion magazine, shooting in the Louvre against the backdrop of the Apollo Gallery. "We'll provide the hat. The fee is €500 in cash." She wasn't interested in anything except the color of the hat. The hat was wide-brimmed, black, with feathers and silk flowers, 75 centimeters in diameter. They wear hats like that at the Ascot races. Headwear is not prohibited in the Louvre. Kostas is a photographer. A Nikon around his neck, more serious than your flea-bitten Canon to look professional. If a security guard approaches, it's a photo shoot for a magazine. No flash or tripod. Please, it's not prohibited. The price for Kostas. Find a model, stand in the hall, take pictures, cover up, keep quiet. You offered $1 million. He said 1.5. They agreed on $2,400,000 in advance, in an envelope, in the same cafe. $800 in 3 months to an account at Piraeus Bank from a Cypriot consulting firm. Friday, July 11th. 21:00 evening mode. Ticket, €22 cash, vending machine by the pyramid. You, a linen shirt, over it a nylon photo vest with zippered pockets, beige pants, white sneakers, a cannon around your neck. An Eastern European tourist on a visa deal, photographing everything in sight. Security guards see 300 of these a day. In the vest pockets, replicas, distributed across 4 compartments. In the trouser pocket, a hex key for 4. In the back pocket, nitrile gloves, 2120, Apollo Gallery, 14 people in the hall, 2 security guards. You walk through, photograph the ceiling, the display cases, the moldings. You wait. 21:25. Kostas enters with the model. She is tall, beautiful, with dark hair, a long dress, a boa, a hat, all of her a black cloud of feathers and silk, filling half the frame of any camera. Costas leads her to the east wall, to the display case with Eugenia's jewels. He positions her precisely between the camera and the glass. He takes 3 steps back and raises his Nikon. The model turns, lifts her chin, and looks up at the ceiling. On the monitor in the control room, there is a hat, a photographer, and a photo shoot. This happens. You put on gloves. You approach the display case from the side opposite the camera. The hat is between you and the lens. You crouch down. Hexagon, half-turn, click, panel, hands inside. Broach bow, removed, put in your pocket from another pocket, replica in place. The tiara, removed, replica. The necklace, removed, replica. Every movement is rehearsed. The right hand takes, the left hand puts. Panel, hex key, stand up. 15 seconds, 3 changes. Costas takes a couple more shots. Then he nods to the model. Let's go to that wall, the light is better. He leads her across the hall to the west window, to the Regent. New point, new angle. The model stands up, her hat blocking the west window from the camera. Costas shoots. You approach, crouch down. Hexagon, panel, the Regent from the stand. 28 grams, cold, smooth, smaller than you thought, into your breast pocket. From the suede bag, zirconium on a stand. Same size, same cut. Panel, hexagon. Stand up. Costas takes a few more shots. He puts away the camera, nods to the model. Done, thank you. They walk to the exit. On the monitor in the control room, the camera sees both display cases again. Everything is in place. It shines, shimmers, lies as it lay. The guard, if he was watching, saw a photo shoot, a hat here and there. They left. The shop windows are unchanged. You come out in a minute. A large gallery, Japanese tourists, the Mona Lisa, a crowd even at 9 in the evening. Stairs, Napoleon's Hall, escalator, carousel. July, 22 degrees, the embankment, ice cream. The Royal Bridge, Boulevard Saint-Germain. In the pockets of the vest under the linen shirt, 3 items from the eastern display window, and 1 stone that is worth more than all the others put together. Costas lets the model go at the exit. 500 euros in cash. She gets into an Uber, asks him to send her a photo. For Instagram. She doesn't know what happened. She'll never know. The meeting is in 2 hours, parking in Villon, near the airport. A white Peugeot partner. Change your clothes. Put the clothes in a garbage bag, in an hour, in a container on A1 Avenue. Silver frames. I took them off myself in the parking lot, no regrets. The main thing is to save the stones. In a rag, in the canal at Saint-Denis. The stones are scattered in a box of lollipops, covered in syrup and powdered sugar. The replicas are in the Louvre's display cases and will remain there until someone picks them up. Costas, night Flixbus to Cologne, then Thessaloniki. Belgium, 120 kilometers, Schengen. Brussels, 2 hours of sleep at Midi. Zeebrugge Hull Ferry. Manchester, Wizz Air to Istanbul, fly Dubai to Dubai. X-rays cannot distinguish diamonds from glass, silver, in the canal. Dubai, 42 degrees. A Lebanese man in the Dubai Mall coffee shop, 3rd floor, next to the aquarium. A scattering of tiaras and necklaces for him. 3 weeks of recutting, an Indian master from Surat. A workshop in the backyards of Gold Souk. Sale, 1 month. Customers in Riyadh and Singapore. 3 to 4 million. Money in 2.5 months. You don't give up the Regent. Separate deal, separate buyer. The Lebanese man says 1 word, yes. A bench by the fountain, water for 3 dirhams, 20 minutes of silence. In the Louvre, the Regent on a stand, a brooch in a display case, a tiara, a necklace. Everything shines and everything is in its place. Tour guides lead groups. Tourists take pictures through the glass. Security guards stand by the walls. No one knows. They will find out when someone, a restorer, an insurance expert, a curator with access, opens the display case and picks up the Regent, and feels that it is too light. When that happens, in a week, a month, 6 months, you will be in Bucharest, on Calea Victoriei, drinking coffee on the balcony. You will accept the contract in Timisoara in September. The best way to hide is to continue being who you were. You finish your water. You throw away the bottle. You take out your phone. There's a message on the screen. An unfamiliar number, a Greek code. 3 words, no signature. You smile, you put your phone away, you walk to the taxi stand. 12 seconds, you timed it.